McCall of Texas, the chairman of the Homeland Security Committee.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you for being here today, all three. And I remember several years ago reading a book called Inside the Kingdom, My Life in Saudi Arabia, written by Carmen bin Laden. She was a European woman who married into quite a family that everybody knows about today. But she talked about 1979 particularly, and how life was in the kingdom before the Ayatollah came into power in Iran and changed the entire region, and then how life was after that event in 1979. And we all know it changed Iran, but it also fundamentally changed the Arabian Peninsula and Saudi Arabia, really rolling back time as it pertained to women. And of course, the dress came back with the burqas, and women were no longer able to drive in the kingdom, and were not able to go outside only at certain times, couldn't go into certain premises, just highly restricted, very oppressive society. And it's very sad to think the direction it was going before 1979 and where it is today after 1979. I've had the opportunity to visit, as many members have, to Saudi Arabia, and I've seen that oppression. It's very dark, and I've seen that firsthand. I've seen that same oppression in Afghanistan, just a little different color of burqa. It's more of a beautiful blue color. Pakistan, as you mentioned, Yemen. It's a change in their laws, but more, I think, a change in their culture. And I guess my question, and it's a very basic one, is how do we change that? And how do we change that fundamental, culture so we can lift that oppressiveness off of these women? Ambassador?
Well, it's a very good question, Congressman, and I think it's a critically important question because we know that you need heat at the top. You've got to change laws. You've got to respect human rights. But you need heat at the bottom, and that comes from the people and their mindsets often. And the mindsets, whether it's what Habbas and what they're perpetrating, or whether it's customarily saying this is how it is, it puts women down and really, in many ways, affects their human rights deeply. But there are a number of examples today where these norms, culture can change, but you've got to work at it. And you do need heat at the top, and you need heat at the bottom. And for example, this issue of female genital mutilation, FGM, it's a horrific custom that many women go through because it's their future. If they don't, their future is inhibited in significant ways. But where there have been efforts, and they're documented, and there's successes every day, for the community to come together and understand what this does in terms of harming the health of the woman, potentially meaning maternal death in terms of childbirth, the consequences are huge. It takes village fathers, it takes imams, it takes the men, and then the community coming together. And in place after place, norms have changed. The norm went from FGM to the health of the woman. But it takes time, but we have to work at it. And education is a critical element in all of that.
And I know the young Saudi crown prince, who will be the king one day, has a more progressive point of view with respect to this and with respect to the role of women in his society, and hopefully that will provide a change as well. Are there any other examples of a fundamental change in some of these countries that has made a difference in the lives of women? Perhaps the other two witnesses?
I would just thank you very much for the question, Congressman. I just refer to some work that we're doing in Pakistan currently with a mobile cell phone company that's offering financial services. And we went in, actually, a group of Western women feeling pretty, ambitious, or we didn't think we'd be able to really achieve very much. But the company was seeing real change in youth dynamics and the generational dynamics. That, yes, it was difficult for unmarried girls to have access to cell phones. Fathers really were not comfortable with their girls having cell phones. But since so many of their husbands of slightly older women had grown up with phones and they wanted their wives to have that access, we saw a real change and a real opportunity for...
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. McCall.
Thank you. And sometimes I have to ban cell phones from my teenage daughters every now and then.
And now we're